The city of Bakhmut, located in eastern Ukraine, holds significant strategic importance in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Its location near the contact line between Ukrainian government-controlled territory and separatist-controlled territories of Donetsk and Luhansk makes it a key location for military operations and logistics. Additionally, Bakhmut serves as a transportation hub in the region, with major roads and railways passing through the city. Control over the city can provide tactical advantages and influence the course of the conflict. Likewise, Bakhmut has historical and cultural significance for both Ukraine and Russia, making its control a symbolic victory for either sides in the conflict. Recently leaked U.S. intelligence documents suggest that the Ukraine war has resulted in the deaths or injuries of around 354,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers. However, the authenticity of these documents has not been independently verified, and some countries, including Russia and Ukraine, have questioned their validity. U.S. officials have also stated that some of the files appear to have been altered. We intend to provide current issues in 5 minutes video packs. Support us through your likes and shares and subscribe our channel as well. According to one leaked assessment, Russia has suffered between 189,500 to 223,000 total casualties, including 35,500 to 43,000 killed in action and 154,000 to 180,000 wounded. Ukraine has experienced between 124,500 to 131,000 total casualties, with 15,500 to 17,500 killed in action and 109,000 to 113,500 wounded in action. These figures are roughly 10 times higher than any publicly reported casualty numbers from either Moscow or Kyiv. Despite a temporary halt in the conflict in April 2023, Ukraine is preparing for a counteroffensive against Russia. The counteroffensive is perceived crucial not only for military purposes, but also to secure continued Western military and financial aid along with public support. Ukrainian leaders are carefully considering their options for the counterattacks. Feasible options include disrupting the land bridge created by Russia to the Crimean Peninsula by targeting separatist-controlled areas in the east and targeting cities along the Sea of Azov. Another anticipated strike is a southward attack towards Russia-occupied cities such as Mariupol and Berdyansk, as well as the Crimean Isthmus. However, attacking Crimea could lead to further escalation, since Russian President Vladimir Putin considers Crimea as a strategic jewel. Ukrainian analysts highlight the importance of breaking Russia's southern positions apart, particularly between the towns of Severodonetsk and Kreminna, as a crucial step towards reversing Russia's advance in the Donbas region and potentially liberating Crimea. Kyiv has intensified strikes on Russia's western regions. However, a direct invasion is discouraged by Western allies to prevent escalation and probable use of nuclear weapons by a desperate Russia. The Kremlin's current goal is to freeze the conflict, consolidate occupied territories, rebuild its economy, and bleed Ukraine through war by frequent attacks. The city of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine remains a fiercely contested battleground between Russia and Ukraine, despite being mostly in ruins and with over 90% of its residents gone. Ukrainian forces continue to defend the city, surrounded on 3 sides and with fraying supply lines. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky views Bakhmut as a symbol of defiance that is inflicting significant losses on the Russian military. For Russia, capturing Bakhmut would be a significant gain in its wider war against Ukraine. It aims to annex the Donbas region, including Bakhmut, which has a pre-war population of 70,000 to 80,000, but now has only a few thousand civilians remaining. The battle has been characterized by trench warfare, relentless artillery strikes, and house-to-house fighting. While casualty figures are classified, it is estimated that tens of thousands of Russian soldiers, including many from the Wagner mercenary force, have been killed. Bakhmut holds strategic importance for Russia, as it could serve as a regional transport and logistics hub and provide a stepping stone for further advances towards the coveted cities of Kramatorsk and Sloviansk. However, Western analysts and diplomats doubt Russia's ability to swiftly capitalize on Bakhmut's capture, given the prolonged fighting and the absence of territorial gains after previous withdrawals. The city's fall could boost Russia's morale, while its defense by Ukraine has been crucial for sustaining support from Western countries. Russia-Ukraine conflict is projected to continue into 2024, with economic and security consequences. Negotiations are unlikely until both sides realize the limitations of military operations. The combatants have irreconcilable war aims, hindering prospects for cooperation, as the war is leading to predictions of a stalemate. The next phase of the war in Ukraine is expected to be extremely challenging, with Ukraine shifting from a defensive stance to offensive operations. Ukraine war has resulted in strategic setbacks for Russia, such as the loss of its position as Europe's main energy supplier, diminished leverage against Europe, and damage to its military power and reputation. While these losses may appear to benefit the United States and its allies, there are no good options for them in this war. The US and its allies are left with the option of increasing military support for Ukraine and hoping for the best, as there is no morally right solution to fight Russia to the last Ukrainian or dictate settlement terms to Ukraine. However, in this catastrophic situation, 3 essential steps by the West are a need of day. Firstly, unwavering support for Ukraine is crucial in its struggle against Russian aggression. Secondly, a thorough examination of the mistakes and the root causes to prevent further escalation. Lastly, a realistic assessment is needed to chart a viable path towards a resolution. Western nations are providing military aid to Ukraine and imposing multiple rounds of economic and financial sanctions on Russia. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains uncertain due to the challenges posed by information warfare and Russia's advanced military capabilities. According to Stephen Pfeiffer, a former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, the war in Ukraine could continue as a war of attrition for months or even years, with neither side achieving a decisive outcome. Ukrainians view the conflict as existential and are resolute in defending their lands. The key to ending the war lies in either side achieving a decisive victory or entering into negotiations. Moscow has not shown readiness for serious negotiations, and on the other side, sustaining public support for Ukraine's long-term assistance may pose a challenge for the West. Ambassador Pfeiffer suggests providing significant military assistance to Ukraine to change Kremlin calculations or make progress on the battlefield, while also working with Ukraine to maintain a strong military deterrent against future Russian aggression. Efforts to end the fighting have been made by Western leaders, including German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and French President Emmanuel Macron, who have urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to halt military actions and engage in negotiations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed a willingness to engage in direct talks with Putin, but the prospects for such negotiations seem unlikely, given Putin's previous stance of negotiating only with U.S. President Joe Biden. A compromised solution to the conflict could involve the creation of a federal Ukraine with special status for the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, which have been under the control of Russia-backed separatists since 2014. However, any concessions made by Ukraine would need to be accepted by the Ukrainian people, as overly compromising agreements could be seen as a betrayal and may lead to internal conflict and guerrilla warfare. The city of Bakhmut is destroyed completely, its residents displaced, and the conflict shows no signs of ending. The ongoing battle for Bakhmut holds significant strategic importance for both Russia and Ukraine, with each side aiming to gain the upper hand. Despite efforts to find a resolution and end the war, the path forward remains complex and uncertain. The international community must support Ukraine and explore diplomatic solutions to bring an end to this destructive conflict. The toll on both sides is devastating, and the city of Bakhmut stands as a stark reminder of the human cost of war. Let us know in comments about your valuable opinion about the Battle of Bakhmut and its consequences. Hit like and share if you enjoyed this video, and do not forget to subscribe our channel.